All right, Joe. So today I wanted to talk about being intentional. Being intentional. So what does this mean? Being intentional essentially means that, this is something that you plan to carry out. This is something that you've thought about and then you plan to carry it out. It could be something as mundane as I'm going to go for a run this afternoon, or I'm going to eat fruit for dinner, or it could be something more long-term thinking. For most people, for their birthday or at the beginning of the new year, they may say something like, I want to lose weight. I mean, how many times have we heard that? New Year resolutions. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds, whatever the case may be. And that is being intentional in your thoughts and what you plan to do. Now, the problem is generally not about thinking something or planning to do something. The problem usually arises for most people when it becomes time to carry it out, or when it becomes not necessarily even carry it out, when it becomes time to being consistent with it. So if you think about us as people, for most of us, for most of you out there, you plan to do something. When you plan to do something, for some people, that's where it ends. They never take a step or an action towards it. They just thought about it. But in that case, is it really a plan? Well, that's one thing. A certain percentage of people will actually take steps to begin this thing. So for instance, if you have someone, say you have 10 people that decide that, let's get ourselves together, let us lose weight. Maybe 8 of them will actually start doing something. Maybe they will start running, maybe they will start doing something with their diet, whatever the case may be. And then it takes time, right, for you to start seeing results and then for it to become a habit. So it's not just about losing weight. It's kind of like about how do you maintain a healthy lifestyle moving forward? How do you incorporate this new intention into your current life so that it becomes part of your life, right? And hopefully, this is something that you're planning to do that kind of like makes you happy or that is beneficial to your physical or mental well-being in general. But that is really the issue. For a lot of us, for a lot of you don't follow through. You just think about it. You don't take any preparatory steps into actualizing this thing that you've intended. I'll give you an example. Maybe I should pause a little bit. There are there are a few ways to think about it. When you are setting intentions, it is really important, it's really crucial to understand what goal setting is so that you don't set crazy goals that you cannot follow through. And that goes into the question of why is it that people don't follow through? Why is it that people don't follow through? First of all, it could be just life, right? I'm not going to discount that. For most of us, we just have life events that just goes on. You may have something that happens, but for a lot of us, it's really an excuse not to do the thing that we've planned out to do. A big part of the reason why we don't follow through is really because we as human beings, inherently, we don't like change. We are very comfortable with our current routines. You wake up in the morning, maybe you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you eat breakfast, you go to work. Whatever you do, we are very comfortable in that routine. And then when we put something in it, basically when you throw a wrench in it to change your routine, this is something that we don't like inherently. It's not even, this is just something that we become abrasive towards without it being intentional, to use that word. We don't even know it. We know that we want to, it's important that we incorporate this new thing that we're planning to do, but our innate nature is to not like change. So for that reason, we don't follow through with these intentions. So that's one reason. So if you are someone that is trying to incorporate new things into your routine, understand that fact that inherently your body is not going to like it. And that is fine, because once you understand that, you can now start goal setting in a reasonable way. So if you want to run a marathon and you're not a runner, you've never run before, you even hate running, but you have that goal of running a marathon, you can't expect to show up on day one and be able to have the lung capacity or the endurance to run that marathon, right? You're going to take some steps. You could give yourself time, give yourself a year, give yourself 6 months, give yourself 2 years. It doesn't matter. And start baby steps. Maybe today you only run half a mile. Actually, maybe you start by walking. You only walk a mile, 2 miles for day one. By day 30, maybe you're running 1 mile, 2 miles. By the second month, maybe you're doing 3, 4, 5. Give yourself time. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself time to be able to do these things incrementally so that way you're able to stick to it. If you can't expect to show up on day one and be able to just do it, right? That is unreasonable expectation. You can go to the gym for the first time and expect to bench press 150 pounds. That is not possible. That is not possible. Give yourself time. So that is, when it comes to goal setting and planning, that is how you should think about it. Give yourself time and be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. So that is one. The other angle to this is, there are going to be times where you're going to feel like you messed up, right? And you set all these goals and you're falling short of your expectations and all of that. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't think about it too much. Like if you beat yourself up about it and you just, chastise yourself because you feel like you're falling short of your goals and your expectations, it could become a vicious cycle where it becomes a reason and an excuse for you mentally to not follow through anymore. Just, acknowledge it. Acknowledge what you're feeling about it, whether it's shame, whether it's regret, whatever the case may be. Acknowledge whatever your feelings are about it. And then the next day, just start over again. I remember when I started meditating some years ago, I used to use this app. And I meditated every day about it. And what I liked about the app was that it would tell you how many days straight you've meditated. And there was a day, that I was traveling and I forgot to meditate. And it started the countdown from 0. And this was probably when I'd gone like hundreds of days or whatever straight. I was so mad and I was so upset. But then I thought about it. I was like, why do I even care? Like, it shouldn't even matter. Okay, I forgot to meditate someday and I started over the next day. Today, I don't use the app anymore because I just tend to meditate by myself now because it's become part of my habit. I just meditate every day. Some days I miss it. Some days I don't. It's not a big deal. Most days I don't. It's not a big deal. I just move on with my life. So that's exactly how you should think about it. Like, you know what? Yes, you have this long-term goal that you've intended to accomplish. It's a long game. Give yourself time to get there. Don't beat yourself too much about it. One final thing I'm going to say about this is, as you go about your days, setting intentions and just thinking about what you do, just realize, like I said earlier, that, most of us, we just go through the motions. We're just going through the motions. And what you're really trying to do is, it's okay to go through the motions as, with some of your routine. But take a moment, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes to stop, to think about the goals that you've set about for yourself. Write something down, write something on your phone. It doesn't have to be like you're writing something with pen and paper. It could be something that, you've taken 3 or 5 minutes to really write something about the goals that you've set for yourself. And being intentional about it, you will be surprised how much that will help you. Sometimes when you write your thoughts down and you revisit them later, 3 weeks, 2 months, 5 months down the line, it actually gives you perspective and an insight into what you were thinking at the time. And sometimes that allows you to be able to appreciate where you were and where you are currently. It allows you to be able to appreciate where you were before and where you currently are in your journey.